Hi, hello everybody. Welcome to YouTube. I'll turn that off because we don't need to see that right away. Doing YouTube kind of live streams, it works. You know, you don't get the cool fancy things like Twitch, but hey, more people like watching it on YouTube than they do on Twitch. So, hooray! And hello, Martin. Welcome. We're painting the Proliferation Cycle. You know, the Mackie and 6 other mechs that were from the original era of Battletech. You know, the first mechs to roll off the assembly lines. So, yeah, we are going to be doing that. I currently have the Mackie is mostly done, not complete. He's getting there. There's a few things I still got to do with him, like a cockpit color, and I got something new that I'm going to try, and not eat hair. I got this box in the mail. There is a company that sent me some samples to check out, because I might want to carry them in the store. And they said, hey, we'll just send you some samples. They're from Shadow's Edge Minis. They are basing materials. This one is the 6mm Wild Spring Realistic Flower Sample. So, 6mm flowers. We also have, this one is the 2mm Petal Pink Natural Layout. Not sure why I would have a pink ground, but it's tufts, little pink tufts. And the beauty of these things is they're self-adhesive. So you can just peel them off and stick them right down and use a toothpick or something to just kind of get the stuff to stick down, and then you're done. They also sent me a base that I'm not really too worried about just yet. I haven't painted the mech up that's going to stand on that thing. But I also have a Scenic Leaves Spring Mix. Kind of a wild looking, you know, floor scattering. We're going to put that on the mech, on the ground around the mechs as well. See what it does. So that's why I chose the Proliferation Cycle, because these mechs aren't going to be in any other faction. And they've been sitting on my table for months. And I just haven't done anything with them. So I did as much of the Mackie as I could, and the others just sat. So now they're getting done. As a matter of fact, let's switch over to the scene where you're going to watch the painting. And you can see all these bad boys right here, a little dark, because I gotta turn on the light now. Yeah, it's gonna be bright in the corner. Don't worry about it. But yeah, there they all are. Every last one of them in various, you know, bits of doneness. Hi, Treya. Are you enjoying your bone? Good. These 4 have just been painted and then detailed with the shader. White primer. It needs to have olive drab put on, because that's the color I chose. Olive drab, which is this guy over here. He needs the military shader done to him so he can look like these 4 in the back. That's what gave them their panel lines and their kind of dirtiness, because they're going to look dirty. And I have gunmetal for the gun portions of the unit and any exposed metal bits, you know, like the backs of the knees and joints and other things like that. That's what that's for. Of course, my standard black for the base, which I'm painting the bases black to start. Then we'll get into what I'm going to do for that. I have a black wash out here in case I need it. But I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Probably, I don't know. Probably a mix. I don't know. I have my Armageddon dust right here. Had this for a while. I have the Stirland mud. The technical line is a really good line of paint, so you don't use brushes with these. The Sylvaneth bark. I have my Astrogranite debris. And then I have my actual just Astrogranite. So you've got like the broken street and the street. So I'll be probably randomly doing the bases in the different shades or whatever, and then sticking the tufts and whatnot down. So we're going to start with getting the green on these guys. On the one guy anyways. And I did all these up in their various phases just to make sure that they were done. So they were done enough for me to be able to then go ahead and do all the detailing and whatnot. So Mr. Firebee's just going to get a nice, generous coat. Now, if he's not dry by the time I am done with the 4 mechs and the Mackie, then, and the Icarus, I believe that's the Icarus? Yeah, Icarus too. If they're not dry by the time I get to them, then they will just be done at a later point. Not too worried about doing all 7 mechs right now, right here, kind of thing. But I wanted to show you the different steps of what I do with this. Now, because I used a white background, a white base, this olive drab might not set perfectly, and I may have to do a little touch up here and there. You know, go over it a second time kind of thing, if you will. Just because. But I won't know that until it's dry. Oh, that's another thing I might do. I don't know what weaponry they have, but I am considering also doing the gun ports. You know, going ahead and adding in those luscious gun ports to the units and see what I can do. I didn't actually look them up to find out, and I probably should have. To find out, you know, like the Firebee here, what is the gun in its right arm? Because if I'm going to do the gun port, there are specific colors for the gun ports that I will need to do it in. That'll be like the very final last thing I do. So I don't know. I will look it up. I mean, I have Sarna. I can get into it. I can download it, so to speak. Because I don't have a book with these mechs in it. It'd have been nice if I did. I wonder if that Humble Bumble had it. I haven't delved into the Humble Bumble to find out. Would have been nice to look them up ahead of time, huh? Oh well. I'll figure it out. No worries. And if you're part of the Discord for the Rochester Battletech or even Mech Frog, oh yeah, I should have done that. I should do that. I'll probably post the pictures there. Which reminds me, I wanted to do that. So why don't I do that? Let me just finish up this green here real quick. Just kind of slathering it on so I can get every nook and cranny, because base coating, we don't care where it sits. Except that it sits everywhere. And then we come back to it with the extra colors and touching it up and all that. But I gotta try and get all the white covered. I'm seeing spots that are white that I don't want white. All right, let's take a look. Okay. Let's get this brush clean. Googly eyes. What's up there, Slayer? Painting the Proliferation Cycle. The original mechs. The first ones to come off the assembly line kind of idea. I forgot to do one thing. Copy. Hey, MF. Shameless self-promotion. Boom. So, yeah. That mech that you might have seen me trying to slather the green on, that is the Fire Bee. This guy here is the Icarus 2, which has a little spot of white. Actually, he's got a couple of spots of white. Holy Toledo. So I cannot hit him yet. I did miss a few spots on him. Dang it. I can't put the green on him just yet. So we will probably get to switch over to the Mackie real quick like. And continue his work. The Mackie was the first mech to roll off the assembly line. You know what? I got this. Yeah, the Icarus is a nice looking mech. Well, when you get home, put us back on. You can throw us on and just kind of let it sit there kind of thing. I also have the Coyote I'm going to be doing. The Battle Axe, which looks more like a early design of a Warhammer. The Ymir, or Ymir. The Gladiator. And, of course, the Beast himself, the original, the one, the OG, the Mackie. Anybody that has jump jets on the back do, in fact, jump. So, the Fire Bee, the Icarus, the Gladiator, they have jump. The other ones do not. The other ones do not have jump. I mean, it'd be kind of sick if this guy had jump. Oh, boy. But as far as heat goes, I wasn't going to do a whole lot extra to him, except do his windows, and then, of course, the base. Do the basing material. Yeah. Because I'm not really sure. I kind of like the way this is currently with the gunmetal. Even though it's not very, like, dark or very detailed or whatever. I just like the way it looks the way it is on him. So let's set this sort of big brush aside. Let's get let's get a smaller brush here. What do we got here? A 1? A 1. That's a 1. Excellent. Now we want to do the cockpit on him. So, and that'll pretty much finish him off, except for what are the weapons. You know, what do the weapon ports, what are they going to be? I'm going to actually use a new paint on him. Twitch is not good on a phone. It just isn't. But anyways, the cockpit color that I have chosen is Dork Radium. So it looks... Give me over here. Give me back here. Looks like that. It's gonna have this like really weird sheen to it. It may not show up very well, but we'll give it a whirl. That's a 10-aught. I need my 0. Where'd my 0 go? There's my 0. It is a type of gold, yes, but it is not a true gold. It's not the gold of my 8th Crucis Lancers. It's not that gold. This is one of those color shifting paints. It shifts from a green to a gold kind of effect. Now, I pulled off the glasses so I can actually see what I'm doing. Getting in close. Interesting. Very interesting. The Turbo Dork looks like it's going to need a second coat because it seems to be pretty thin. So we'll touch it with a second coat. It's definitely a strange color. Hey, Mech Frog, how's it going? Yes. Yes, I have to do that. I mean, come on. Yeah, it doesn't help me learn the names. I have so many mechs. And, yeah, I mean, what is this guy? I have no idea. Oh, he's the Battle Axe. Pfft. I'm never going to remember half of these damn things. There is a guy that I'm talking with. About he's got this not a Kickstarter, but he's got something going on that he's got labels he's trying to print out, that he's trying to get out. The labels that he's doing are going to be similar to this, but it's going to be the full shape of the base. So it'll just stick on, and it'll have your hazard for here, and you can also put the name here if you want. And he's doing these sticker packs that are for each of the battle packs that have come out, whether it's a Lance or a Star. They're actually kind of neat. I have to see them in person to know whether or not I would even carry them at the store. But it's a neat idea. They just could be a little expensive because you're buying a sticker sheet. Whereas I bought those labels from Staples and just printed them out, cut them down, and I don't care what it looks like on the bottom. And I'm painting the front the green, and that's it. So, what do we got? One more coat on him in a moment. Let's start over. Is he done yet? Icarus, are you dry? Icarus is dry enough. So, if you weren't here at the beginning there, Mech Frog, which I know you weren't because I just posted it. This is the Army Painter Olive Drab. That's what I used. And that's the military shader that's going to go over the top to make it look like this. Now these guys I did a little too much, so they look a whole lot more used, if you will. Maybe the Icarus and the Firebee won't be quite so used looking. But, I mean, this is the Proliferation Cycle, so we're not too concerned with whether they're used or not. You know, because nobody else is going to get painted up in this color scheme. Unless they come out with another pack, which I doubt they will. It'd be interesting to see if they did. Yeah, if you couldn't tell, I like my military greens, as evident from my 8th Crucis Lancers. It's a solid look. And I know the 8th Crucis Lancers weren't as big as I'm making them, but to hell with it. That's what I'm doing my Davian forces. Just that touch of the wyvern and the white. Which reminds me, I have to pick up the paint because I need to not be mixing it anymore. It's just easier if I don't mix. Slather, slather, slather. That's all I do. And I switched over to YouTube because it seems like a lot more people tend to like watching people live on YouTube than they do on Twitch. Because when I did this a few weeks ago, I had 700% more viewers than on Twitch. I know, gasp, it sounds like a lot. It's like, oh my god, 700%, that's incredible. Well, here's a little hint for you. On Twitch, I would get 1 viewer. On my live stream on YouTube, I had 7. So, 700%. Or is that 600%? Whatever, it just sounds like a whole lot more. Sounds like a very high percentage. So we go with it. All right. Come on, leg. La, da, da, da. See, I don't have the patience to sit here and panel line and do all the crazy cool, that a lot of people do. No, because I'm not into works of art. I'm into playing with the bloody ass things. And if it means slathering some paint down like this and then coming back and, hey, it's table ready, I'm all for it. All right. Now I got to get a little bit of stuff out because it is kind of glopped in there because I used a lot. Pull a little bit out because there are some areas that will be too glopped in that I don't want to be gloppied because then it won't dry very fast. So we just kind of dry the brush a little bit, bring it in, and let it kind of some of the paint. Do any of you know what color PPCs are supposed to be? And or lasers? The first 5 battle mechs? Or the first 5 you paint? So, hey, Jonathan Lee. How's it going? So, blue for PPC. What about lasers? Are they the green then? Oh, first 5 stream viewers. Y'all are tough. If this was on Twitch, I would be saying, you're part of the Kukri army, because that's what we have over on Twitch, is the Kukri army. In honor of our good friend Dice Golem, because that's where that started. But you can be Kukri army over here too. It's fine. We won't discriminate against people for not being on Twitch. Small lasers are red, medium are green, large lasers are blue. What about PPC? Are they white? So I had to ask the question while Mech Frog was here because he knows his stuff. And if you don't know who he is, and how could you not, just look him up on YouTube. Don't do it now. Wait till later. You know. He's got some good stuff. And whenever I remember to do it, some of the freaking things you're seeing I paint end up in his videos. Alright. So. Okay. So I'm going to write this down real quick since it's easier to do. Medium is green. Large and PPC blue. Okay. So then the reason why I ask is I was debating on actually painting up the gun ports. And I don't know what the guns are on this thing. Or any of them for that matter. So I have to figure that out. And then paint them accordingly. Because otherwise somebody might be like, oh, you painted it green when it should have been yellow or some other crap. Alright, let those two dry. Push you guys up there. Let you dry. Alright, Mr. Mackey. How are those kids in school? Okay. Get a little more of this gold on here. Sorry, it's not gold. I'll show you the color in a moment. It is a cool color. I wanted to give the Turbo Dork Radium a shot. Yes, I know it's a gold cockpit. Sue me. That's what I did with the 8th Cruises Lancers. But at the end of the stream is when I'm going to try to put the Scenic Tufts down. Which we'll give a review and all that jazz. But check them out. Shadow Edge Miniatures. ShadowsEdgeMinis.com. They're peel and stick tufts that you can put down. They got all kinds of different ones. They sent me a sampler pack with some spring leaves I'll toss down. Also, pink tufts, if you're into pink tufts. And I also got a base, but the base I'm not using this time around because, one, it's big, and two, I got to put the Atlas together to go on the base. So, we're going to be putting them on later in the stream. Once everybody's done. So, let's get some... Oh, this is just coming out like it wants to just come out. Here, let me get a little extra because it's just glopped everywhere. There. That didn't help any. Oh well. Gunmetal just come pouring out like it was on fire. Alright. The Coyote. Oh, that's a bubble. Let's get some color on you, boy. You know what? Let's start with the leg. We'll get inside here. Because we're just going to paint all the exposed joints You know, if they look like they need to be silver, they're going to be silver. If I can see joints, let's put it that way. Oh, yeah, that one's a joint. Put silver in back there. Try and tuck it in this spot here. Perfect. That'll work. There's this little vent here. Hit the vent. All this vent too. Yes, sometimes I get quiet. Y'all know the drill. When I'm painting and I'm trying to be super detail-y, I get quiet. Gotta paint his big old antennas. Okay, big old antennas painted. Let's see about his arms. He's got this spot in the back here. And then we'll get this one too. Now you did, I believe you did a Mackie video, didn't you? That was a while ago. I don't think I ever could do what you do. That's a lot. But you gotta have a team to do it, you know? Get in here. So I just sit and stream Zombicide and stream painting Battletech and stuff like that. Oh, you fool. Don't do that. Why do I keep doing that? It's because I'm not using my holder. I think even if I was using my holder, I would still do it. Still touch the metal, the paint I just put down. I'm just silly that way, I guess. For some odd reason, I thought you had. And it's not like everybody would have one. You know, that is an interesting thing. Mr. Mackie, what do you got? Anything fun? Not like the coyote. Huh. Weird. Okay. I guess I need another color. Because I didn't notice that the coyote has this heat shield sort of look. He's got this heat shield, and I'll point with this, because you should be able to see with that if I turn this down. Here, and even back here, it looks like a heat shield of some sort. which is very interesting. I really don't want to make it the same as what I'm doing with all the other weapons. So, with all the weapons and all the other silvery bits, I'm going to get me a different color for that. All right. If I get out of frame, holler. Sometimes I do that, and I don't mean to. Matter of fact, hey, everybody uses it? What do you mean everybody uses it? Like it's still in use, or just all the various clan factions said, yeah, we like using this thing? All right, let me get these windows, and then let me go grab that other paint. Really? I thought it was one of the... I thought it was an original one that just died off. I will back in just 1 second. Let me put these on because I want to paint that a different color. Evil chrome. Iron. It's kind of a copper. All right. Okay, I got 3 choices for those heat shields on the Coyote. Okay. The heat shields that you see here and here. I'm calling them heat shields, so that's what I'm painting them up as. My question is, what would look better? This death metal, warp weapon bronze, or this evil chrome? I kind of like the evil chrome because it looks the most like a copper. So I think I might do the evil chrome. I don't think I've ever used the evil chrome on anything. You think the weapon bronze instead of the evil chrome? It's a little darker. It's kind of the same color. It's just a little more coppery. Let me get a little bit out and take a look. Oh yeah, that's definitely a copper. Oof. That's a bright copper. Almost. Instead of the bronze. Let me see. I'll just tap a little bit of bronze. This is not tapping. This is called oozing. Why are you oozing? Quit oozing, okay? Quit oozing. All right, let's take a peek. Let's take a look at Evil Chrome. We'll put Evil Chrome here. I actually kind of like the Evil Chrome on it. A little hard to see with how bright the thing is for you guys. See if will that help? What do you think? I sort of like it. Once I put some black wash on it, it'll darken up and you'll see all the holes again. All right. Trying to get the leading edge. Okay. Yeah, I definitely like this copper. This Evil Chrome color. It looks a little better. Yeah, I like that. That actually looks pretty neat. Up close and personal, it looks pretty cool. It definitely has that, simplistic kind of military look to it. I like that. I wonder if anyone else needs... They do. Oh, look. The Gladiator could use it. Right here and here. Well, we got it. We might as well just go with it then, shall we? Put it up on this stuff. On his jump pack. My pupper is asleep. I can tell because she's starting to twitch. Camera can't pick it up, can it? No. Hey, Death, how's it going? We're just here painting some mechs. Chit-chatting and learning the colors of laser beams and PPCs. Because I might want to do that to these guys. Ah, da da! I just have to figure out what each mech actually utilizes. Because as it stands right now, I don't know. And since I'm testing out those tufts, I kind of want to, do that. All right. Do I have anybody else that has that stuff? Has those heat shields? No, but maybe. Maybe. Ooh, yes. I think that's a resounding yes. We'll do it on these guys here. Because these things, they definitely look like some sort of Dark Age heat sink. That Wizards of that Whiz Kids would have put on units. So let's heat sink them up. Ooh, yeah, we did have some good storms roll through. They're pretty amazing. Oh, up, 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 up. Okay. Yimmer, do you have a heat shield? You know what? You kind of do. I'm giving you a heat shield. Maybe I'll go back and touch the Mackie. See if he has any heat shields. I'm going to put him on this shoulder. On this elbow guard. La da 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 da. Now, just because I'm going to put some basing materials on these guys doesn't mean I'm going to go back and do all the bases on the other guys. Does not mean anything of the sort. Okay. Okay. So he's okay. He's okay. He had nothing except for what was under his arms. Hey, Mackie. Did you have any cool weird heat thing? No. You did not. Okay. Mackie's an easy thing to see. I mean, I'll use them, just not as much. No heat shields on the Fire Bee. You, my friend, have too much in your belly. It's a good thing I picked you up, Mr. Fire Bee. And a little too much in your belly. And in a couple other spots, too. That one would never dry, and two would look like crap when it did. So we tap, tap, tap. To get rid of a lot of the excess. That's what happens when you just slather it on like I do. You tend to get a lot of excess. And if you're not careful, the excess dries and glops in. I may use these. I might even do up a force with them. Maybe I'll do an Alpha Strike force with them if they're all painted by tomorrow night. I don't know if they will be. Probably not. But we'll get as far as we can with them. Right? Right. Oh. You know what I should do? Because I have a space here that's like... Well, it'd have to be right there, wouldn't it? It'd have to be right there. No, the Coyote is not a bad mech. And my Coyote is just about done. So let's move to the Gladiator since we put... Actually, no. We'll move to the Battle Axe. Let's get some gunmetal going on you. LRM5. The best mech in here? The one I like the best? That's a tough call, because I'm not 100% sure. I mean, the Mackie is... Well, it's the Mackie. I mean, you can't go wrong with the original OG. I just haven't used them to really know. MML7s? Oh. I don't like that. I'm really trying to figure out why the battle axe looks so much like a warhammer. You know? I mean, it's a warhammer. It's exactly what it looks like. It looks like an old warhammer. Is there a reason it's supposed to look like that? Hammer hands. I'm not too familiar with the hammer hands. Keep going, keep going. 2 AC-10s? Now the AC-10s I like. The AC-10s would be nice. Okay, weird. Thought I saw something on the mech. Oh, ooh. Never mind then. 3-5 movement is just too slow. Okay. Ooh, Mr. Knees. Let's get your knees there, buddy. Flip it over. I am a big fan of the CGL plastic. Lightweight, easy to carry. You can carry a full frickin' company and not, be like, heavy luggings and stuff. Which is why you won't see any of the Ironwind metal in my stuff. As much as I might like to get a particular unit, I will do without until it comes in plastic. If it comes in plastic. And no, I don't want to do a 3D print, because tournaments tend to like to have you, using CGL or official minis. So I'm not going to do that. Yep. That's why I'm not starting on the metal minis. I mean, there are some that I want, but I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I would like to have a Mad Cat Mark IV. The only reason is because Jacob Banson drove a Mad Cat Mark IV. And I need the leader of the Banson Raiders. But it's not in plastic, and I doubt it'll ever be in plastic. The Jupiter is coming, I believe, in plastic. So at least I'll be able to get One-Eyed Jack, Farrell, get him in there. Okay, anything else? Oh yeah, I got to get the guns. Jeez. I got to get the big old tortures. Oh yeah, the Savage Wolf. That is a Mark IV, isn't it? I forgot. That's right. My hopes are not dashed. I forgot all about it. Thanks for reminding me. Here I am thinking my hopes were gone. That means I'm probably going to need a couple of them. Not going to need whatever. What is the painted one of that set? As long as it has all new mechs in it, I'll be fine with it. Is it just the Savage Wolf that's the only new one? Get this bigger brush out because I've been really manhandling this guy. Oh, the Savior repair. Oh, yeah, you're going to need a lot of these. Because that repair truck, if I remember correctly, is, oh, he's going to be posable, if you will. Okay. Yimmer. What do we got? We got a lot. A lot of stuff there, Yimmer. Oh, whoops. Back up. Come back to baby. We need a thinner brush. Little tiny brush, my 10-aught. The Battle Axe has some tiny effing windows. Whew. While I'm here, I might as well use this tiny brush and hit these windows too. Did I hit the Coyote's windows? I did. Okay. These windows are much bigger. What's the tonnage on the Yimmer? Is it like an 80 tonner or a 100-ton mech? Wendigo. I don't know the Peacekeeper either. While I'm here with the tiny brush, let's hit him up too. There we go. Perfect. Okay. Now let's look at this Mackie a little bit better. Oh yeah. I like that sheen. Okay. Coyote set. These two have to finish drying. They're not fully dry yet. He's just about done. Actually, not too bad. We're going pretty decently. Let's work on the Yimmers. Craziness. Yeah, I'll create a force maybe for Tuesday. Show them off. Create a 250 that uses just the proliferation mechs. It won't win anything, that's for damn sure. I don't think. I mean, it might. Depends. Depends on how well I play it. They'll be dry by then for sure. They'll be ready to rock. Rock and roll. I cannot read that, so let me do this. 1 heavy PPC, an ER PPC, a plasma rifle, ER large, and an SRM 2? Oof. I guess that would be peacekeeping, wouldn't it? Definitely fits that role of peacekeeping for sure. Da, 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 da. Interesting. Okay, it's a big old hip here. Lots of big guns. You keep the peace by bringing the biggest gun. That's what you do. Well, now. Isn't that special? What? Hell? What in the hell? Oh, interesting. Oh, interesting. Very weird. But we'll take it. We accept. The strangeness that is whatever the knee is of this mech. What in the devil? It's just weird. Ooh, oh, man. So much little bits that end up being silver on him. Or at least that could be silver on him. I think that's why I saved those two little guys for, well, being the little guys. His foot structure is very strange too. His ankles. Okay. Okay, we'll do this too. Okay. Almost. Now we got to do the gun. This massive thing. And I don't have enough gunmetal left. Let's get a little extra out. Not much. A couple of drips would be enough, I think. And let's clean the brush. Gotta clean the brush from time to time so the paint doesn't get all icky and stuck. Because that's what ruins brushes when you're a brush fan like me. What the heck is this on his arm? What is this weapon on his arm? I don't know. There's no whatever it is, it's nuts. It's got to be an autocannon. Coupled with like a targeting laser. Very cool, though, whatever it is. What I'll do is I'll look up what the individual weapons are on these guys. I'll look them up at a later date and I will then paint the lasers whatever color they're supposed to be. Oh, a large laser? Okay. So that's what that is that I'm painting up, the large laser. And I found some more coppery thing. We'll just let everything dry before I put. Because with the copper stuff on the mechs, I'm gonna go over them with a black wash or a dark wash. Maybe not black, but you know, a dark tone. Just to darken them up so they're not quite so bright. Alright, so that's done, that's done, that's done. Here we go. Next guy up is the Gladiator. Picked up the SRM-6. A little too much paint on the SRM-6, so I'm pulling some off. Because I'm going to come back to the SRM-6 and try and get some missiles painted, because it looked like it had missile points. And if it actually has missile points in there, then I kind of want to hit them up. That is interesting. They have the lasers on the inside of the arm. Very interesting. Death, if you're still on, let me know if I have to, if I'm meeting you tomorrow or picking you up or what have you. Because I don't know. If you're coming. You may not be. I was thinking of bringing my Astrogranite maps. And we do alpha, hex alpha on the Astrogranite maps. Since I have them and I've not used them yet. And having a nice big board where a whole bunch of people can be on it. And we institute the, you got to move your entire lance when you lose initiative. Speed the game up much, much faster. I mean, sure, that means most of your force is going to be out of position. But it'll make things go a little faster with things. Hey, frog summoned you. Yeah, there was a frog here. He might still be lurking about. Hello, Isotan. I hope I got that right. How's it going? We're just doing some painting, some chatting, talking about... No, this is not. This is the Proliferation Cycle. The pack that Catalyst came out with not too long ago. We still have a couple of copies at LingSterGames.com if you're looking for a Gladiator or a Yimmer. There we go, Yimmer. Or the Coyote. Or the Mackie. These are the original mechs. There's 7 of them in the set. The Battle Axe, and then the 2 I haven't touched yet. The Icarus 2, and then the Firebee. Haven't hit them yet. Haven't finished them up yet. Slowly working on them. These are basically the 7 original mechs that came out. That started it all. Okay, now I gotta put my glasses on. Isotan. Or just ISO. ISO. That's pretty cool. Glad you could join. Thanks for coming. Now, you will note, as pretty much everyone else has noted, and you've seen my stuff, you know, from time to time. I post them in the model showcase and whatnot. I am not professional by a long shot at all. I mean, as evident from this stream, I'm not professional. This is not a professional stream. I probably don't even have music playing in the background, do I? Just to have just a little bit of sound when I go quiet, when I'm like really like concentrating. My stuff gets painted table ready. As much as I like 3D prints and stuff, I'm not doing 3D printing. But, you know, everybody wants to do different things. They're fine. I don't care. I don't mind. You know, some 3D prints are pretty nice, but I'm sticking with CGL. Mainly because I have to, because I like going to tournaments. And in my neck of the woods, tournaments do not allow you to use 3D prints. So I can't use 3D prints. So as much as I would like certain mechs that aren't in CGL plastic, I don't want to confuse myself. If you know what I mean. Now, 3D printing of terrain, I'm all for that. And I have a few pieces. One of the... I don't have a 3D printer myself because I don't have the room for it. I just don't. There's no room in this house or a very adequate spot to put the stuff. So I don't have a 3D printer. But I have multiple friends around that have them. And one of them, as soon as he gets back from... I just touched it, didn't I? Yes, I did. Some of the stuff that he's got going on, personal family stuff. When he gets back, there's a drop ship waiting for me. The Borealis, which is the for lack of a better term, it is the Clicks Aurora drop ship. And with that, I am going to be painting that up. Yeah, the this tabletop game is so nice. I've been playing since the late 80s. You know, basically for 40 years now, because it's been out for that long. And I've had a blast. Now, some of the older mechs that I have are, of course, the metal. But that's because, you know, they didn't have the plastic back then. They didn't think about doing plastic. When they did, I was already moved on to a different game. I wasn't doing this game anymore. Because by the time they started coming out with plastics, I think I was doing the Clicks version, which is sad. You know, I say I don't like the Clicks version, but yet one of my biggest factions that I've painted up is from the Dark Ages, which is kind of silly. I really have no idea why. All right. What's our time looking like? I've been out here for about 2 hours. Okay. So if I've been here about 2 hours, I'm going to hold off on the Fire Bee, and I'm going to hold off on the Icarus. I will do those at a later date. Or I will do them while the bases dry of these four that are done, or mostly done. Let me get my flat brush, because I got to get out my black. I paint my bases black and then do the front face of the primary color of the unit. So, I would never use the Clicks vehicles. The Clicks vehicles are way, way too big to be used in this game. I'm sorry, I won't. Infantry, on the other hand, there's a possibility I might use them. Anyways, back to painting the bases. I like painting them in the black and doing the primary unit color as the front of the base. Now, these bases are going to be a little special because I am painting them black to start. I have this special basing material that I'm going to try using. It's going to be the first time attempting it. It's a company that sent me samples that I may want to carry in the store. If you didn't notice, because I've already said it a couple times, but yeah, I have an online store, LingSterGames.com. We sell Battletech, Zombicide, all sorts of fun stuff. If you need singles, we get them singles. You can get singles from there. I got a bunch of singles. Lots of them. But this basing material, yes, I go off on things. I go off sideways. Ooh, donuts. Ooh, squirrel. You know, that sort of stuff. But this basing material from bum 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 Shadows Edge Minis.com. They sent me some samples. I'm going to see how I like them. If I like them, then I will more than likely carry them in the store. They are an interesting idea because you don't need glue. The leaves, you will. But the other stuff, you won't need glue. Because they're self-stick, self-adhesive. Which is kind of cool. The only reason that I am painting the base black to start is, one, I want the edges to be black, and I still want to have the front face be the color of the unit. In this case, the Proliferation Cycle being this olive drab. Once this black is dry, then I will move on and put the basing material down. I will be using the various technical paints from Citadel. To achieve ground looks. And with you saying that you're just starting out. If you were to watch other videos of mine of how to paint this faction or that faction, I lay it out simple. I just paint to paint. You know, I don't have a specific, you know, I don't do it that great. You know, they're passable. One thing I would recommend for you just starting out, you do not need to invest in the Army Painter brushes. You don't need to invest in those, really. To be fair, all you really need is to go to a place like Michael's, Hobby Lobby, or any art store. And as long as you're good with the brushes, I use these. I can't really read it, so back here. Artist's Touch. These are Rounds Fine Art Studio. These brushes last this one's an older brush, so it's well used and the point is starting to no longer be pointed. But it's a very old brush. But new brushes, they hold their point very, very well. A cheap set from Walmart could work. These brushes are $3.99 a piece. they're very doable. You don't want to use the brush for very long when you are painting. You want to do a mech, rinse out the brush, do a mech, that sort of thing. $50 for 8 colors? What? What acrylic paint? If you're going to do any acrylic paint and you want to use hobby paint, because that's the thing you want, I recommend Army Painter Warpaints Fanatic. That is my go-to. That, and since you are just starting out with painting... Oh, sorry, Treya. Sorry, girl. I almost stepped on you. Since you're just starting out, another good idea for paint is this. Speed paint. You put a base coat down of, you prime them in white or gray even, and you put this down, or for that matter, like I did with mine here, I use this military shader to achieve, where is he? The Mackie. To achieve the look of the Mackie, to get the panel lines and all that, it was just putting the olive drab down and then slapping the military shader all over it. That's it, and letting it dry. That's how I achieved this look of green. And you can see it on a lot of my other mechs. It's that simple. The Broadsword Silver is a very, very good speed paint. There's a lot of speed paints out there. They're just perfect. They work very, very well. And they will achieve professional results that you would not expect. And they're, I think, $5.99. They're not bad. They're not bad at all. So, I don't know what paints you were going for that were $50. Good Lord. That's insane. Now, what am I looking for? Oh, that's right, the green. I had the green in my hand. Because the other green is just about dried up. I mean, watch videos, take some tips and tricks from people. It's always nice to learn different things from different people. I show you how to do it, table ready. You know, I started this stream 2 hours ago. And if I wasn't going to be basing anything, these 4 mechs are what you call done. But because I'm going to be throwing some basing on these guys, they're not quite done yet. They will be shortly, though. You know what? Since I have you on the brush, I might as well just slap some green down on you and slap some green down on you. Put the front face down. Yeah, you could, the Army Painter sets, they may be expensive, but you get a lot. I know there's a mega set out there that you get like 50 paints, you get the paint stand to go with it. It's a lot, but it's a lot of good paint. I stand by Army Painter paints. I used to have the original line, which is this Quickshade, is part of the original line. And when they came out with the Warpaint Fanatic, I just said, you know what? I'm dumping my old paints because I've had them for so long, and I'm just going to switch and go to the new stuff. So I did. And I haven't looked back. They're really good. Some people, you know, they're like, ugh, don't like them. I like them. Now, blackwash. Remember how I said that this copper is too bright? Ooh, I don't want a blackwash. No, not the blackwash. Hang on. I have a different wash I can use. A tone, if you will. A strong tone or a soft tone? Strong tone. What about a red tone? Strong tone. Not the dark tone. I have a thought. Since this is kind of a copper color, okay, Kethel, what do you think? A red tone to it? Or better, the strong tone? I only thought the red tone because it might make it pop a little bit, but I think the red might not look right. Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think the red is going to look right. So, these washes, if you don't use speed paints, use washes. The washes are real good to use. Okay. I don't want to use the big... Well, yeah, I do. I can use this one. This is fine. Strong tone. Oh, yeah. Strong tone was definitely the one to use. Oh, man. Ooh, doggy, that looks good. When these are done, and they're fully done, I'll post pictures of them so you can see them. See what they look like. I'll put them up on the Frogs model showcase. I'll get some really nice pictures of them. Treya, do you mind? I don't think people want to hear that. Yes, I believe just normal Alpha Strike. I mean, people may want to play Classic. Who knows? I was going to bring my Strata Mechedy maps and do a Hex Alpha on them. Just because I have them and I haven't used them yet. All right. Interesting. Very interesting. I like this tone. I do like this tone. Where's my missile port? There we go. Oh yeah, let me do this. Burp, burp. Already did him. Yimmer. If you do, make sure you do it before I leave so I actually can go get one. Because they're up at the storage unit and I will have to, I got to go up there anyways because I got a couple orders that have to go out, so, and I got to do some, putting stuff back from the convention I was just at. So, yeah. Gotcha. I got you. It's a good map. The city map is coming. The last city map is coming. Something else I got to do when I think about, now that I'm thinking about it. Because I'm doing all this copper. I never looked at those two. I don't want to look at those two. I used that red tone and the evil chrome. I got to write down all my colors. Yeah. Savannahs are coming. I have them on order. Okay. So, I've got all of the copper coated, it looks so good. Oh, I'm sure you do. I know you. Okay. Back to the back to this. Oh, it's all dunked up. All right, that's dead. All right, where's my paint? Now for the windows. And then we will start working on the bases, the base material. Turbo Dork. This is what I'm using for the windows. Turbo Dork Radium. That's what gave me his cockpit color. Ooh, here we go. Kind of hard to see it. It's hard to see it on stream too well. Touring the Stars? No. I want to say no. All right, where's that 10-aught? Nah, I might be able to get away without the 10-aught brush. Now, Artist Touch. These cheap artist brushes, well, fairly cheap, $3.99. They even have the really tiny ones too. Hard to see. Hard to see it, but there you go. They have the really tiny bristles as well. Actually, I think I can use that one. Set you down. He'll be fine. Maybe. Maybe he'll be fine. Let's find out. Let's do the little guys. I decided I wanted to do this sparkly Turbo Dork. I wanted to do their windows in something different. So I went with this. Sue me. Thought it was a cool idea. And so far it has been. It has sort of that NASA look to it. I mean, if you want the NASA look, you got to just go with gold. Not Turbo Dork. I just wanted like this weird sparkle color. I did forget something on him. I have to go back to him in just a moment. Did everyone here pick up the Humble Bumble of Battletech books? $18 for a very excellent chunk of books. Even if you already have them in hardcover, some of them you guys don't. And it was definitely well worth picking it up, I think. I picked it up. All right. You know what? Let me do the silver here. Because I missed a spot on him. There's the emotional support laser in his head that I had to paint. And since I have the Turbo Dork out, I'm just going to quick paint the Firebee's eyeballs. He is going to be a very cool looking mech. Because he doesn't have a traditional cockpit glass. Oh no. He has what looks like a visor. I figured I'd quick hit these up silver on their cockpits while I still have Turbo Dork available. And I'm not wasting all this because dudes, look at this. Look at all that paint. See all that paint that I wasted? I do that. Hello, Keith. Yes. They are coming. I do believe they will be coming. It's not a lance. It's a star. Or more. Because I got all these. And him too. But everybody is just about set. Now, I have to come up with what I want to do all of these guys in. And I'm thinking a basic dirt. The bark might stay away. Either a dirt or a mud or a debris. So I have the Stirling mud. The Astrogranite. And the Armageddon dust. Hard to freaking point it the right way. Yeah, see. Armageddon dust, Stirling mud, Astrogranite. I think those are the three I'm going to be using. I don't really want to use the Sylvaneth bark or the regular Astrogranite. I don't know. I think the debris... Actually, the debris might be too thick. Oh, yeah. Of course, the debris might not even be valuable. Oh, it is. Oh, it is all right. Oh, boy. Oh, the debris is very thick. Let me look at the regular Astrogranite. With these textures, the technicals, you do not, I repeat, do not use a brush. Because this is not normal paint, as you can see by how this is coming out. These are texture paints. I will use the granite for the Mackie. So, I just scraped a bunch around. I'm going to pull all my paints off to the side that I've brought out. No, I tipped over the Astrogranite. Well, it's a good thing it's a texture and it doesn't leak. And I'm going to pull all the little meckies out. Oh, wait. I forgot one thing. I forgot to hit him up. Forgot to hit his missile pod up. Now that I'm thinking of it, let me quickly hit it up. There. All right, so Mackie's going to get roadway. I have my texture slash Citadel thing. We're just gonna scrape this stuff on. This is why I painted it black to start. Because that way if it shows through, it's not going to look horrible. Okay. Now, before this dries, let me get the scenic leaves, because I think this would have some scenic leaves on it if it's asphalt. Might keep my little... Trying to get these leaves down. I don't know if I like the leaves. Let's see about tuft. These, okay. Are these the same, both of them? No, I got blue. I got blue and I got red and I got other colors. Let's go with one of those. Yeah, okay. All right, well, that's not going to work too well. I'll have to let the paint dry and then hope that it'll work. Because I was thinking that the leaves would stick to the wet paint. And then they would stay and be good. The 3rd Armored Division of what faction? Oh, of the U.S. Army? I mean, I could also just put them into the 2nd ID, too. Because they had an armored section. And since I was 2ID, I just have to get really tiny 2nd ID labels. It's definitely a texture. You don't shake these. These don't get shaken, they get stirred. Because you can't, I don't know if you can't see in them. But you mentioning a rock face. The Yimmer here is going to have a rock-ish. Oh boy. Okay. The Yimmer's got some rock going on. This stuff is good texture paint. It's really sweet. And you don't, like I said, you don't use a brush. Not at all. Let's, who wants to be standing in the mud? Does the Coyote want to be in the mud? Or the Battle Axe? Or the Gladiator? How about the Gladiator? We'll do the Gladiator in the mud. If the mud is of any value. The mud has to be of value. Has not been used in forever. So it has to be stirred a lot. All right, you mud. Okay, let me do this. And let me flip it. Okay. I'm going to have to get the mud off of the other end a little bit. Because if we're putting mud on the base, and this is actual mud, I gotta read. I gotta read. What do you got? Didn't your parents tell you not to play in the mud? No. They told me play in the mud. Get dirty. Because if you got dirty, you healthy. Get out of here. He's been stomping in the mud. He's been sloshing in the mud. Set the mud back. And now I'm going to do a couple of dirt. Armageddon dust. Armageddon dust. Armageddon. Armageddon. Glasses off. Oh, glasses back on. Yeah, that's why we were told to play in the mud. So what if we ate a little dirt? It built character. Shit, what am I doing? Get off of there! You're going to get dusted too. So we'll just move you over there. Matter of fact, give me some of you back. Kyolo is getting dusted. And have a little dust all the way up his legs. There we go. Yeah, I think that's going to look out. That's going to look good. And now we're going to put some on him. He, because he's so big, doesn't kick up as much dust. So his won't be all up his legs. It'll just be more on his feet. No, it is not. Well, it's not 40K paint, but it is Citadel. Man, this stuff is drying like a rock. But then again, that's what it's supposed to do. I have my stippling brush. I get off this leg a little bit more. If I can. Because I got a little too much on his leg. On his foot. I had to use my nice stiff stippling brush to get rid of it. And now to fix the base. Come on, smooth out. Man, it's got to be smoother than that. It's still showing some of the black. Okay. Let me get this thing cleaned off. Got it all over my hands. I'm dirty. But Armageddon dust, Citadel Technical. Citadel Technical, Stirland Mud. And then the Astrogranite and the Astrogranite Debris. The one I didn't use is the Sylvaneth Bark. Because I'm not really sure. I mean, that's another mud color. More like a clay. And it's hard to see in this light. But it's more like a clay look. That's what the Sylvaneth Bark is kind of like. It's like a clay. All right. Let me go back to this bad boy. Did any of these things stick? Not really. A couple of them did. The leaves don't stick too well. I'm going to have to put the Yeah. I'm going to have to put the other debris stuff down later. Because this stuff, when it's thick, is all manner of wet. And it's going to stay wet until probably the morning. So I will not deal with putting the tufts on until tomorrow. I'll put them on and see how they do at that point. Because, yeah, I got a lot of them, so I can play around. I mean, he might be dry enough. Yeah, he's dry enough. So let me get another orange one out. They're self-adhesive. Ah, what did I do with him? Wrong one. Yeah, they're self-adhesive, all right. Good God. You just take it. And you just kind of stick it down with a Q-tip or something. Let me get a different one. What do we want? What other color goes good with the orange? Yellow? Another orange? How about a blue? We'll take this little blue one here on the corner. Yeah. That's kind of neat. I kind of like that. I do kind of like that. Yeah. That works. I mean, I wouldn't put more than like 1 or 2 tufts down on a base. But once it's dry, then we can put it on the other ones. So, anywho, yeah, there you go. The Mackie himself is done. He's done. Because I actually got some stuff to stick and whatnot. I'll do a little touch up on the base, you know, because of the Astrogranite coming around it. Because I want the edges of the base to stay black. But, yeah. I kind of like him. I like it. I think it works. So, we're going to go back to the beginning. And, there we go. Yeah. So, there's the Proliferation Cycle. I'll get the other 2 painted up later on, tomorrow, if I have time. And put the tufts on in the morning. And, yeah. We'll take some pictures and put them up so people can see exactly what they look like. Because I know on the stream, they look good, but not completely. So, anyways, thank you all for coming. We love it. Come on back again for some more streaming and whatever else I decide to do. So, we'll catch you all.